going to get into game number 1 right now as Marckiemoo and Sandstorm started out on Demon Island in your Spring Championship Grand Finals.
Yeah, this one's going to be good. I mean, you know, this is the question. We've been watching Priya all day, and all weekend, really, from various weekends. But Sandstorm really the only one in North America outside of Wubs to make it all the way into the top 8, right? There are some people, I think, in the top 16 and top 32 side of things that were able to do pretty well. But this is the last Priya standing, and in the Grand Finals, winner's side no less. And so Marky has a lot of work to do here, especially with Sandstorm going ahead and throwing these chakrams, hitting that Ensig, and, you know, queuing up yet another pair. They're fighting an arm. Marky gets to spawn favored to his side, but you know Sandstorm's going to get one right on his side now, and yeah, we back at it again. He's throwing that fused sidelight, yeah.
He's trying to go ahead and get the knockout off that fused version of the sidelight. Trying to get an earlier knockout on Marckiemoo. Marckiemoo's going to have a hard time getting back on the stage. Sandstorm going to lay it down. Maybe a down sig come flying out. No, Marckiemoo is going to be able to take just an easy stroll right onto the left side of the map. Sandstorm keeps him off the weapon. There we go. Going to go ahead and send them out. And Sandstorm is the first to strike as he is up 3-2. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen Sandstorm make great use of that side light into the down light to refuse the chakrams, but also get that added knockback to lead to the KO there. But Marckiemoo still trying, man. You know, he's been so close to finding the solution to this character, and he even won some games, you know, lost to literally nobody else but Sandstorm today, and so trying to see if he can reconcile that, but having a tough time, having to go for wonky plays like jumping off stage, gravity cancel sidelighting into the wall to then recover Sandstorm to find his knockouts. But on the other side, Sandstorm has to get his chakrams, has to split them up and then get these down airs or falling nairs and combo those into recoveries to get KOs off the top.
Oh, nice gravity cancel sidelight from Sandstorm. Marckiemoo, though, get the reversal, but wait, he might overcook. No, he's got the nair, pulled Sandstorm back out. How are they both still, neither one knocked out after that?
Like, it's like, y'all both made it back?
Like,
okay.
What?
I guess y'all just that good, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Sandstorm piecing up Marckiemoo yet again, though. Those nairs into the recoveries are just so hard to deal with. Even the recovery on its own will just cover so many dodge options that it's a tad bit ridiculous to try to work around. But Marckiemoo trying to find a way, not going to be able to get a punish on that side sig because Sandstorm does it away from him, and the built-in movement to the sig is just too much for the dog to be able to keep up with. But we'll see here. Marckiemoo trying to get back, squeezes by. You know, contorts himself a little bit, I guess, to get past Sandstorm, but somehow they're both still alive here.
I'm just looking at the back and forth, the teeter-totter of gameplay that we're seeing in game number 1, and I think we might need chairs and seatbelts for this grand finals, Flambeau, because this is going to be a ride.
Yeah, no, strap in. You know, we're going to be here for a minute. You know, make sure that, you know, you got everything done before we go. Make sure you've taken your peeps and poops because I don't want to hear nothing once we're on this ride.
Right? We are not pulling over for any reason.
Oh, Sandstorm, dang, comboing off the wall, scooping him in. Yo, brother.
Marckiemoo with a nice unarmed recovery, though, to clear the air, get the spacing, and get the stock. Well played from Marckiemoo.
Yeah. No, you got to give it up, man. Marky, somehow, you know, able to find the stock despite the fact that, I mean, Sandstorm was getting West Coast custom with those combos off the side of the stage there. I was like, that exhibit really was ready to pull up. But now, things are looking a little bit better for Marckiemoo. The stock count is the same. Yeah. The damage is roughly even. You know, he hasn't gotten his dub on Sandstorm yet today. He'd love to start this set off 1-0 and go for a reset. Can he do it, though? I mean, Sandstorm has a mash recovery. Marky has to find a way down and find a setup for the KO.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask. Sandstorm does have the advantage here. This could go either way as Marckiemoo putting that scythe on him. Sandstorm retreats, gets back up on stage, hits him with the sidelight. Ooh, Marckiemoo, can he find it? No, he whiffs the dare.
That weapon is so fast. You saw he said, oh, you whiffed, I'm gonna try to get around you. And Sandstorm said, nope, I can cover that. And he covers the rest of that stock as well with that neutral sig on chakrams. And that's gonna be Marckiemoo going down one game in the set, but keeping it close and keeping it competitive. And that's the way it's been literally every game he's had against Sandstorm today. It's really been a matter of can he close it out. And the Priya has proven to be too much of a barrier for him in that regard thus far, but there's still time.
I think we're getting a swap. We are. We are going to change up the signature kit just a little bit, and we're going to put Spear on the table, which I think is smart. I think it's smart. Yes, he is a Mordex
I wish Marky had a hammer run.
You know,
His
right?
Cassidy would cook, I'm telling you.
Swear. But I mean, you've been on the Cassidy train all weekend though, bro.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, it is true. But I'm just saying, like, in the hands of this guy, like, come on. You know, but that's not what we have here. I mean, this Mirage obviously not bad at all for Marckiemoo, and at some point when things haven't been working, you have to try something new. He had his winners set. Things didn't work out on the Mordex. We're over here on the grand finals side of things, trying to find a way to secure this victory. Mirage is definitely not a bad option here. We've seen him play it before to great success. Who's to say that can't happen now?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I definitely think the Mordex wasn't getting it done. That was pretty obvious. I mean, he had all the data from their first set to go off of.
Nice.
Plus, ooh, there we go. Good stock from Marckiemoo, plus the data from game number 1, and he made the decision. All right, look, the Mordex isn't working. We're gonna switch it over, put Spear in the mix, still have that scythe to fall back on, and maybe mix things up a little bit. Sandstorm, there we go. Gonna confirm the stock right there. We're all tied up on stock number 2.
And you know what? I respect the choice as well, because part of the kind of like counterplay we've seen, at least from Marky in terms of dealing with chalk rooms, is swapping legends, whether it be on win or lose, right? Just kind of constantly refreshing the matchup that Sandstorm has to go up against and adapt to try to see if maybe he can eke a win over that way, but it's just been so hard for him today. You know, he tries to go for the YOLO ground pound. Sandstorm already piecing him up because of it. You know, trying to throw him to the food processor yet again. Oof. Damage.
Oh my goodness, Sandstorm.
Oh.
There you go, hit him again. Swap back over to Chakrams. He had him primed. Grabbed a Kittle side sig. Is going to get punished from Marckiemoo. Can he follow up? No, he misses the landing off the side. There we go, another side light. He's getting really good at swapping those. And Sandstorm is going to confirm the stock. And man, it is starting to just fall away right through Marckiemoo's fingers. It is so unfortunate, but Sandstorm is starting to heat up.
Yeah, I mean, the down sig definitely going to go ahead and bring things back there. Was wondering when that one would make an appearance. I mean, when you pick Mirage, you got to press it at least once.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter which weapon you use. You just gotta represent it. You gotta let them know. So there we go. Now Sandstorm has been informed. He has received the memo. But you're going to need a little bit more than that if you're Marckiemoo. That D-Light here is going to be a great start. Sandstorm finessing his way in the corner, trying to keep Marky oppressed, and that's exactly what he's doing. Marky needs to touch the stage. There he go, touches just the very tip corner of Demon Island, but hasn't been able to win. Yeah, he's stuck in the neutral game. Hold on, chance. Tries to go for the read wide the game to end there. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have too. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. We are tied up 1-1. Marckiemoo. The Mirage swap is going to help him out, get at least something in the win column for my man Marckiemoo, and we're going to be all tied up into game number 3 as we take a look at these replays.
Yeah, I mean, Marky Downtig being the name of the game for him this time around, got, what, 2 out of 3 KOs with it. One of them, you know, he threw a little weapon throw first to kind of stagger Sandstorm there, and then went for the down sig, but looks he's going to be sticking with the Mirage as well, feeling a little bit more confident on this. Clearly was able to get the victory with it, which the Mordex are struggling to do. And honestly, the KO condition, I think, is just simpler, you know? Like, when you're sitting here on Mordex, right, you're, like, trying to get all these scythe reads or whatever. You hop on Mirage, bro, you know, once you've hit the dude enough, if you land a D-Light, that's it, you know? And it's like, all right, if I don't want to land a D-Light, I'll press one of these heavy buttons. They're all good because I'm Mirage, right? Sometimes you need just, like, that little reprieve in your brain to make things feel a little bit more accessible. So we'll see if victory can find Marckiemoo's way.
I do worry a bit about the ability of Marckiemoo to be able to win 5 more. I do worry about running out of steam, having to go, you know, back-to-back sets against Priya, against Sandstorm's Priya.
It's true.
A very exhausting weapon to play against, and I do worry about that a little bit if this does go the entire distance. I think Marckiemoo really needs to get, if he's going to get this done, he needs to get it done as early as possible.
Oh, and the edge guards just haven't been
so smooth with it.
Connecting, man. You know, he gets Sandstorm off stage. The weapon throw is just mid. Like, it's not good enough to force Sandstorm to dodge. And so because Sandstorm still has that dodge on the way back to the stage, Marckiemoo is having a much tougher time confirming the knockouts. There we go. He gets to punish onto, I believe, a Chakram recovery there with that side air to go ahead and close things out. But you're going to have to, you know, try to be a little bit more consistent, especially with the weapon throws, man. I think the weapon throws after, like, hitting someone off stage can sometimes be one of the easiest parts of an edge guard. So you want to make sure you're locking in there, and that's almost disaster for Sandstorm. Marckiemoo landing one side, so goes for 2, though.
Ooh. All right, we're seeing the helicopter come into play here. Sayer.
Oh.
Ooh, we missed the signature, and Sandstorm right there to punish it. What can he get? Marckiemoo finds his way, puts the recovery in there, gets the path back up on stage, and now he is trying to lock in on Sandstorm. The dare Sayer from Sandstorm on those split chakrams. Who picked him up with an inlight, and he's not stopping the recovery. He's going to finish it. And now Sandstorm has Marckiemoo on a game of stock here.
Okay, Marky definitely wants to win this one. You go down 2-1 against Sandstorm on the elimination side of Grand Finals. It's going to feel like so much more work to do to try to bring yourself back into this tournament. So we'll see here, but he's getting minced up. It's not looking good for Marky. Marky can't get down. The Mirage, seemingly not the answer. Tries to go for the N-Sig. Sandstorm doesn't fall for it. Splits those chakrams up, and you know he's here to go ahead and put on all this extra pressure here in the center of the stage. Goes for the down sig, the first one we've seen this set, I think, and Marckiemoo at this point is on borrowed time. What is he going to do in this game number 4?
Go next.
We are going to see, because this game's over.
Yeah, go next. One thing you pointed out, too, that down sig is so useful, and he hasn't really been using it very much. It can pick up very, very easily, catch your opponent off guard. I mean, the hitbox hits in every single direction.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. As long as they're remotely close to you, you're going to hit them. So surprised we haven't seen that a little bit more, but just like that, Sandstorm is one game away from being your North American spring champion. Marckiemoo needs to put the brakes on it right here, right now.
Yeah, this one's rough. I mean, like, he's trying things. He's, you know, you were talking about the down sigs. It looks like he's been saving them only for knockouts and not just kind of like as a general get-off-me tool. Maybe he doesn't want to over-represent it.
True.
But similarly, like Priya down sig on chakrams, effectively the same thing, but the hitbox is way bigger, you know? But instead, we get a swap that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. We got Dalsim on the screen.
I think we have reached the point of full desperation pick.
Axe and gauntlets.
But this is Marckiemoo. When have we seen him swap off to a Dalsim?
Literally never. But when your back's against the wall, hey, you gotta figure something out. And Marckiemoo, he's someone who, you know, if he has an idea of something that'll work, he's gonna try it out. So far, I mean, this Axe, I haven't seen Axe really do super well into chakrams. I'll keep it a buck. I feel like Hammer, much easier, but on the Axe side of things, I think they just kind of get mixed up like this. It feels like it should be a good idea because they have these circular hitboxes, but I just think you get out-frame data too bad. You're out there in the air, and it's naring you. What are you going to stuff it with? You don't have anything fast enough.
I have to agree. I think we've seen a lot more success out of Hammer, Blasters.
Oh
no. Blasters, Spear. Axe, not so much. Even the times we've seen Taros players go up against chakrams, they tend to get rid of the Axe and favor that Hammer. Marckiemoo has those gauntlets back in hand. See what he's going to be able to do with them. No, Sandstorm's going to clean up that stock pretty easily. And this is about the worst position Marckiemoo has been in the beginning of a game yet.
Yeah, Marckiemoo needs to figure out an answer. I mean, this Axe, he's looking a little unseasoned there, right? He has Sandstorm stacked on top of him. He's trying to figure out how to punish him. The answer is he has to dash and pick either side and do an N-Light. Instead, that's not quite the way that he tries to respond. And so now...
Oh, we're done.
It's not looking good for Marky. Yeah, he's getting minced up, and you can see at this point he's kind of zoning out here, going for these wild plays. You can tell he's more or less checked out. Sandstorm on this Priya, seemingly being able to demoralize his opponents. They're on the brink of despair. I mean, you got him on the side looking like Bunny or Experience in the olden days, you know? He's checked out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but what can you do? I mean, he's literally doing nothing but watching cutscenes for the last 2 minutes.
Hey,
that's all he's doing, is watching a cutscene.
Hideo Kojima has made some of my favorite games. You know, watching cutscenes isn't all bad. But for Marckiemoo, it definitely is. I mean, time's a ticking here. He's camping the side. He's had just about enough. We're going to see if he gets his first stock off of Sandstorm.
There it is.
Goes for the YOLO ground pound because, you know what? Why not? But it's feeling like it's a matter of moments here. We'll see if he answers back. I'm not feeling optimistic about it, Slow.
I'm not either. I mean, this is Brawlhalla, and I have seen some crazy things happen in my years with this game, but we are seeing a little pep from Marckiemoo now. See, got those gauntlets in hand. He's only a stock behind. This is totally doable, Flambeau. But, man, it would take it to a game 5, and then he would still have to reset it and do it all over again.
And you see Sandstorm's doing down airs out of his stun now whenever, he's getting missed up. And that's going to be GG. Sandstorm is going to be your spring championship winner over Marckiemoo, and also the both of them will be going to the Spring Royale. So at the end of the day, everybody wins.
Yeah.